Superheroes and villains all have relatives and siblings who either follow in their footsteps, turn away from their legacy, or become their own person. It would be Cassandra Nova, the evil twin sister of Professor X, the mutant Nightcrawler, the son of the shape-shifting mutant Mystique, the Prowler, uncle to Miles Morales, or Eros, the hedonistic brother of Thanos. One character who has sort of followed her cousin's footsteps was Kara Zor-El, also known as Supergirl, also known as the Woman of Tomorrow, also known as the Girl of Steel. With the 2026 Supergirl movie coming out in June, I decided to discuss the history of the Woman of Tomorrow, from her development to her death in Crisis on Infinite Earths, to the stories that further define the character. Before we begin, please like and subscribe if you enjoy content like this. 1958 Superman issue 123 featured a version of Supergirl who was wished into existence by Jimmy Olsen as a companion and helper to Superman. This version was created by Otto Binder and Dick Sprang, funny name by the way. Eventually, Jimmy Olsen undid his wish when she was weakened by kryptonite after saving Superman. 1 year later, in 1959, Action Comics issue 252 finally featured a more recognizable iteration of Supergirl. This version was created by Binder and Al Planstino. Her origin story is very simple. Kara Zor-El was born in Argo City, a fragment of Krypton that survived the planet's destruction. When a meteor shower doomed Argo City, Kara was sent to Earth by her parents to be raised by Superman. The two soon learned that they were cousins, since Jor-El, Superman's father, and Zor-El, Kara's father, were both brothers. Kara was taken to an orphanage in the town of Midvale. Under the name Linda Lee, she had to live as an ordinary Earth girl until she was ready for greater things. Acting as Midvale's guardian angel, she began doing secret patrols at night as Supergirl. Supposedly, this was a mostly positive reaction to the character. Eventually, Kara was adopted by Fred and Edna Danvers in Action Comics issue 279 in 1961. Over the years, Kara would be accompanied by many recognizable allies: Streaky the Supercat, Comet, and a legion of superheroes. Streaky was Kara's pet cat that was given powers by X-Kryptonite. Comet was Kara's pet horse that at one point was a centaur. During her time with the Legion of Superheroes, she was close with team member Brainiac 5. In World's Finest Comics, Supergirl developed a strong friendship with Barbara Gordon, also known as Batgirl, teaming up many times. In 1984, Supergirl premiered. The film starred Helen Slater as the Girl of Steel and was the fourth film in the Christopher Reeve Superman film series. The film had horrible reviews from critics and underperformed in the box office. Crisis on Infinite Earths saw the death of Kara Zor-El when she saved Superman from the Anti-Monitor. Her death was mainly because her books did not do so well, and DC created a list of characters to kill off, like something out of Death Note. This would lead to one of the more iconic comic book covers of all time in comic book history. Kara Zor-El was erased from the post-crisis continuity for a while due to the idea that Superman was the only survivor of Krypton. There were many versions of Supergirl in this new universe, though. 1988 Superman issue 16 featured a new Supergirl. This version was a shape-shifting life form created by an alternate Lex Luthor. She would go by Matrix, and her form would resemble the pre-Crisis Supergirl. In 1996, DC Comics published a Supergirl miniseries written by Peter David. Matrix merged with a human named Linda Danvers, resulting in a new Supergirl and becoming an Earth-born angel for some reason. I don't know. Anyways, in 2004, Kara Zor-El was back in Superman Batman issue 8. This version of Kara was sent to Earth during Krypton's destruction, but her ship was stuck and attached to an asteroid, putting her in suspended animation. Finally arriving on Earth years later, she reunited with her cousin, who was now operating as Superman. Shortly after, she was captured by the villainous Darkseid and was brainwashed, looking like a goth Princess Leia in her slave outfit. I don't know. Supergirl freed her cousin from Darkseid's brainwashing and eventually assumed the role of Supergirl. 2011's Flashpoint once again reset the DC universe, resulting in the New 52 continuity. After Kara Zor-El was launched into space, before Krypton's destruction, her rocket reached the solar system and spent 2 decades orbiting the Earth's sun as she remained in stasis. Her ship did land in Smallville, but hurtled through Earth and emerged in Siberia. She fought her cousin, learned about Krypton's destruction, and later adopted Earth as her new home. Eventually, the continuity was rewritten, resulting in Kara Zor-El's history being revised. The best Supergirl storyline is Woman of Tomorrow, written by Tom King and illustrated by Bill Quist-Evely. Hope I pronounced that right. The comic followed Kara as she teamed up with Ruthie Mary Knoll to track down a groundskeeper Willie-looking killer named Krem. The comic was so influential that it would serve as the inspiration behind the upcoming Supergirl movie. In 2023, James Gunn announced DC Studios' plan for their cinematic universe. One of the movies announced was Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, later renamed to just Supergirl. Millie Alcock of House of the Dragon would be cast as the Girl of Steel. The character appeared at the end of 2025's Superman and is set to appear in her upcoming solo film, scheduled to be released on June 26, 2026. Overall, Supergirl has had an interesting cast of characters and experienced many adventures. When the Supergirl movie comes out in June, it will mark a new beginning for the character. Hope y'all enjoyed this video. If you did, please be sure to like and subscribe if you want more content like this, and hopefully I'll see you next time. See ya.